Hello children, welcome back to your literature class of Standard 3. Today we will continue with the remaining part of chapter 7. And the name of the chapter is Heidi Meets Her Grandfather. Children, before we start with the remaining part, let us have a recap of the chapter that we did in the previous class.
In the previous class, we saw that Heidi was a 6-year-old girl who grew with her aunt in a city of Switzerland. But her aunt had to leave the city. So Heidi went to live with her grandfather in a little house high up in the mountains. After reaching there, she told her grandfather to show his house. In order to see the house, she followed her grandfather and she found herself in a good sized room. The things that she saw there were a table and a chair, a bed, the hearth, and a cupboard. Then she wanted to know the place where she could sleep. For that, she climbed up on the ladder that was kept near the grandfather's bed and found herself in the hayloft. She decided to sleep in the hayloft because she loved the sweet smelling hay that was kept over there. And she also liked the round window that was in the wall because it was the window through which she could see right down the valley. Now let's read the remaining part of the chapter.
All right, said the grandfather. He went to the cupboard and after rummaging about inside, he drew out a long, rough piece of cloth, which was all he had for a sheet. He carried it up to the loft, where he found Heidi had already made quite a nice bed by herself. She had put an extra heap of hay at one end for a pillow. It looked now as tidy and comfortable a bed as you could wish for. I wish it was night so that I might get inside it at once, said Heidi. I think we might have something to eat first, said the grandfather. Yes, I think so too, replied Heidi. Let us go down then, said the old man. Downstairs, he filled a bowl with milk and brought it to Heidi with a large slice of bread and a piece of golden cheese and told her to eat. Heidi lifted the bowl with both hands and drank till it was empty. Was the milk nice? Asked her grandfather. I never drank anything so good before, answered Heidi. Then you must have some more. And the old man filled her bowl again. And so the time passed happily on till at last the evening came and the goats returned from their pasture. Heidi gently petted first one and then the other. After supper, Heidi said good night to her grandfather and climbed up to her bed, where she was soon lying as sweetly and soundly asleep as any young princess on her bed of silk. So children, I have finished reading. Now I'll explain these paragraphs. Listen to it very carefully.
we saw that Heidi decided to sleep in the hayloft. Then she asked for a bed sheet from her grandfather, and her grandfather went to the cupboard and searched hurriedly for the bed sheet. But there in the cupboard he got only a rough piece of cloth as a bed sheet, which he carried up to the loft, where he found Heidi had already made quite a nice bed by herself. He saw that she had put an extra heap of hay at one end for a pillow, and the bed looked very tidy and comfortable. Heidi was so happy to make her bed that she told her grandfather that she wished that it was night so that she might get inside the bed at once and sleep. But her grandfather told that before sleeping they should eat something. Heidi agreed, and they both got down from the hayloft to eat something. The grandfather filled a bowl with milk and gave it to Heidi, with a large slice of bread and a piece of golden cheese, and told her to eat. Heidi lifted the bowl with both her hands and drank it till it was empty. Then the grandfather asked that whether she liked the taste of the milk. Heidi replied that she had never drank anything so good before. After listening to her reply, the grandfather offered her some more milk, and he filled her bowl again with milk. In this manner, the day passed very happily till at last the evening came. When the evening came, the grandfather's goats returned from their pasture. Pasture means land covered with grass that sheep and goats eat. So when the goats returned, Heidi, she petted the first goat and then the second one. Petted means to touch gently someone or something with hand, especially to show care, friendship and love. After that, Heidi had her supper with her grandfather. She said good night to her grandfather and climbed up to her bed, where she was soon lying as sweetly and soundly asleep as any young princess on her bed of silk. Here, her bed of hay is compared to the bed of silk of any young princess. The bed that she made was so comfortable that it is compared to the bed of any young princess, the bed of silk. Okay, and she was soon lying asleep sweetly and soundly. That means she was sleeping very comfortably and sleeping deeply. Okay, so children, here we have finished the chapter. I hope that you will read the chapters very nicely. You will read the chapter again and again with correct pronunciation. So till then, take care. Bye bye.